So there's a lot to be said about the first year teacher, what makes them stay and what makes them go and what makes them break down and cry and what makes good teachers leave and not so good teachers stay and what makes them better. And I've always heard that no matter how confident you are during student teaching or during your school, or no matter how good you are at what you do, or no matter your grades or whatever success story you might have, your first year is a mess, a hot mess. So I decided to capture my hot mess on video blogs for you. And ultimately, I want to see what happens in the first year of teaching. How can we fix the first year of teaching to make more successful first year teachers? So that's what these video blogs are going to be. So this one's going to be a little boring because I'm just going to introduce myself. My name is Elisa Gomez. I recently finished my student teaching and graduated with a bachelor's in secondary education with an emphasis in English. And I was hired before graduation to teach high school English. So I'm very excited about that. And it was very exciting to get hired before graduation because we all know that that doesn't happen these days. So I felt very blessed to do that, or to have that happen to me. A little bit about my education life. Education has always been a goal for me. Maybe not always, but since around late years in high school, so about senior in high school. I love teaching. I started working at an after-school program. Excuse me, that was my phone. I started working at an after-school program, and I loved it. It was great. We had fun. That's kind of where I learned a lot of management techniques, because we had to take care of like 40 kids every day. So we had to figure out like who goes where, and we had to keep track of all these children. And even before that, I had worked teaching Sunday school, or assisting in Sunday school for 5th and 6th grade, and so I kind of learned other techniques there too. So I worked for the after-school program, Sunday school, preschools. I worked at all preschools that you can name in the Valley in Arizona, and then I worked with the youth too, and that's kind of where I decided that I wanted to stick with secondary, because I love them elementary school kids, but can I handle it all day? So that's kind of where I was throughout college. College was 6 years for me instead of 4, just because I went to community college, and I took longer there than I should have, and then I transferred to Grand Canyon, and yeah, so it took me 6 years to get through college, which is fine. It happens. I found my real passion for teaching when I started teaching junior high. They had a Bible study on Wednesday nights, and I won't say that I was thrown into it, because I did want to do it, but it was kind of like, all right, here you go, do it. And it was the best thing that could have happened, because I just did it, and I wasn't scared to do it. It just kind of happened, and I loved it. I love those crazies, and it's kind of interesting because that first group of junior hires that I had were in, I think, 7th grade when I got them, and they just graduated high school this year, so that does not make me feel old at all. So I'm only 23. That's not old. I gotta keep telling myself that 23 is not old. It's not. So the big question is, why did I become a teacher? Well, to boss people around, of course, because that's why you become a teacher, to boss people around. I really enjoy telling people what to do. I would say that my management style is that of like a Catholic school nun, because corporal punishment is still technically legal in Arizona, right? I mean, I'm kidding, of course. Why did I really become a teacher? I mean, it's simple. I want to inspire students. One of my greatest pleasures in life is to know that I made someone think about something a little differently, that I made someone look at something a completely different way than they would ever thought to do that. That's awesome to me. And I mean, to help somebody understand something that they have never understood before. If you've never had that experience, it's unlike any other. I want to be able to see students grow in who they are, to see them understand who they are. And the reason that I say all this like ridiculous goopy stuff is because I know that in October of this year, right now it's July now, and I know that in a couple months, in October, or maybe even in August or September, I'm going to want to quit. I want to quit and stop teaching forever and sell Avon for the rest of my life and never deal with high school students ever again. But I want to look back at this video and remember why I got into teaching. Even if I'm a hot mess, even if I'm ridiculous and terrible at my first year, I'm going to know that this is why I do it. I want to be able to inspire students, and that's my goal. And I hope that those of you who are teachers can look at this video and somehow remember, somehow reignite that passion for teaching if maybe you lost it, and say, yeah, that is why I started this. I want to inspire students, and I love teaching. And for those of you who aren't teachers, this video is still for you. I hope that you love what you do, just like teachers do. I hope that you find something that you're good at and that can inspire someone and can help somebody somehow, even if it's, selling Avon. People like Avon. I don't know why that's my big thing right now is Avon, but I want you to be able to love what you do. And if you don't love what you do, find that thing that you do love and that you're good at. Really, really figure out what that is. Find what it is and go after it, because I only have one semester of student teaching under my belt, but it's the greatest pleasure ever. So with all that being said, hopefully you get an idea of what these videos are going to be about. They're not all going to be this boring and long and introductory type thing, and they may be super quick and brief depending on what my schedule is, and I'm not really sure what this year has to hold, but you guys are going to figure it out, and I'm going to figure it out, and we can be on this journey together. If there's anything you want to know, please feel free to ask me questions. I start school August 5th. I have teacher orientation July 29th and 30th. And so I'll hopefully get to tell you all about that too. There's not a lot going on this summer, so I may take you through kind of my process of getting things together for the school year, which right now is no process. So if any of you teachers have advice for me, I would love to hear that. That's about it. Okay, hopefully this wasn't too lame, and I'll see you later.